Hello action figure fans, this is HammerTron here with a new action figure review for you. This time I am reviewing the Masters of the Universe Origins Man-at-Arms action figure by Mattel. This was released in 2020. I bought it in the store in 2020. I'm just now getting around to opening this up. So here it is in a nice package that looks like the original Masters of the Universe packaging from way back in the 1980s. The year this came out, 2020, retro play. Here's the action figure. This looks different from the original. I remember seeing the original way back in the 80s where Man-at-Arms did not have a mustache on the original action figure, which I thought was weird because I had seen the cartoon back then where he clearly had a mustache, so this looks pretty good. We can tell through the clear plastic here that he does have some articulation. So here it is, the front of the package, the top, and the bottom. Here's one side, the other side, and here's the back with a nice picture. I like these kind of pictures, it's very exciting. Some description. This is where it says Origins, Masters of the Universe Origins. Little feature that shows how to twist the action figure around, and a cross cell showing the other action figures available at the time, and some manufacturing information down here. So we'll open this up and review the action figure in just a moment. Here is the little plastic person freed from the plastic prison. The Masters of the Universe Origins Man-at-Arms with all his accessories attached. He also comes with this mini comic book. So it has some nice artwork, and at the back it has a cross cell, the same cross cell as on the back of the package. My complaint with the comic book is it's too short. I would like a longer story, and also it's the same comic book with all the action figures in this same wave. So we've had this comic book before. I'd prefer a different comic book with each character. So let's take a look at how tall this action figure is. According to the tape measure, standing as straight and tall as possible at 5 3/4 inches tall, or about 14.5 centimeters tall. And the accessories that this action figure comes with is a battle club of some kind. Here is the club. It's all in one solid colored plastic. Nice sculpted detail. Very simple and effective. The other accessories that were included are these armor pieces that are attached to the leg here and also to the arm, so we have to attach them. This chest piece was already attached. So here's the action figure. Man-at-Arms with a proper mustache. The original action figure did not have a mustache. But nicely detailed helmet here, some painted detail. On the back it looks like they painted the hair, but a little bit sloppy because it looks like some of the brown paint got onto the helmet there. We can see how the chest armor is attached. Looks like the whole body is molded in the same color plastic. Very limited paint on the action figure. Nicely sculpted boots, but we've seen those before, but no real painted details there. So looks pretty nice, pretty simple and basic, but it's effective. Let's take a look at the articulation. With the head we can look up, look down, turn side to side. Lots of head tilting. It's actually pretty loose right out of the package, but the head is still there. And at the arms or shoulders, we can go out to the side. The armor doesn't really get in the way, so that works. We can go all the way around and go all the way around here. That works. At the elbow, there is a single jointed elbow, which is not reaching 90 degrees here. Now these armor pieces are kind of getting in the way. They float around a bit and they get in the way when we move the action figure. So we have a single joint, not even 90, and a swivel at the elbow. Same thing on this side, but this elbow joint was very stiff right out of the package and less than 90 degrees, and single swivel there. At the wrist, we can turn the wrist and there's a hinge, so it's working on both sides, although the wrist joints are pretty loose. And the floating armor bits are just a little bit annoying. At the waist, we can twist. At the hips, we can do the splits. So, looks okay. And you can kick forward, not very far, and kick back just a little bit. Same thing on this side. Kick forward, not very far, and kick back just a little bit. At the knees, there's a single jointed knee. Works on both sides. That's as far as we can go. There's an interesting little upper lip on the knee. Also, we can swivel at the knee. So that is working on both sides. There's also a boot cut where we can turn at the boot there. And the same thing on this side. So this armor piece just fits on right over it, so it doesn't hinder that articulation. At the ankles, you can do the tippy toes, go forward that far, and there is ankle pivot that is working on both sides. So the articulation is working. This elbow was a bit stiff, but it's loosening up. Some of the other joints were very loose right out of the package, so a little disappointing at how loose they are already. And with these origin style action figures, we can probably take it apart. Yes, and I don't think that's meant to be a play feature. It's just a byproduct of the manufacturing process they chose, where it's all plastic and very easy to assemble. And because it's so easy to assemble, it's very easy to disassemble. So just a byproduct of the manufacturing process that they chose. But very nice looking action figure. We'll get him as straight and tall as possible. Now the legs are in a permanent curved pose, but that's meant to simulate the original squat battle pose of the original Masters of the Universe action figures from way back in the 80s. Here is Man-at-Arms next to a pair of 4-inch action figures. On the right is an adventurer from an Animal Planet set I reviewed a while ago. On the left is the Fortnite Jonesy action figure by Jazzwares. And this Masters of the Universe action figure fits in as giant size, super muscular, monster type characters with the 4-inch scale action figures. So that might be fun for some displays and dioramas. Here is the Masters of the Universe Origins Man-at-Arms next to a 6-inch scale action figure on the left. The Action Force Condor action figure by Valiverse. That action figure is actually about 6.5 inches tall. And a 7-inch scale action figure on the right. The Masters of the Universe Masterverse Man-at-Arms from the Revelation cartoon made by Mattel. And the same character has some slightly different design elements or characteristics. The origin style action figure is certainly a brighter color and much simpler with less paint. We can see the differences in the club. The origin style is very simple, molded in single plastics, much smaller. The Masterverse style is much bigger and maybe a little bit of a wash on it, or maybe even some paint, but certainly a different color. So this Origin style Man-at-Arms action figure, being less than 6 inches tall, he might fit in with the larger scale action figures if he's like more of a dwarf type character or just an unusually short character. But looks pretty cool either way. This Masters of the Universe Origin Man-at-Arms action figure is a pretty nice action figure. It seems to be pretty sturdy, although some of the joints are very loose right out of the package and other joints are very stiff, and I was very worried about breaking it, so I might use a hairdryer later on to warm up the joint to make it move more smoothly. I'm not sure what to do about the really loose joints. I hope they don't get any looser over time. These armor pieces, they look nice, but it's annoying when I'm trying to move it around and these floating pieces just move everywhere. But once we get them in the right position, then it certainly looks nice. So overall, pretty nice action figure, and at the price of about $15 at the time, it seems like a pretty good deal. So thank you for watching my review video. Remember to like the video, leave a comment, let me know what you think of this action figure, and subscribe to my channel to keep up to date with my future reviews and commentary. I'll see you next time, action figure fans.